Once upon a time, in a small village at the edge of the forest, there lived a poor family that worked in farming. The family had a tiny son, the size of a human finger, so they named him Tom Thumb. Despite his small size, Tom Thumb was clever and brave. Tom Thumb grew up surrounded by his parents' love. Although his size amazed the villagers, he always made up for it with his great intelligence. One day, Tom Thumb said to his father, "Father, I want to help you with the work. I don't want to be a burden to you." His father laughed and said, "How can you help when you're so small?" But Tom Thumb insisted that he could be useful. The father thought for a moment and said, "All right, if you're determined, I'll give you a simple task. I'll ask you to watch over the field to keep the birds from eating the seeds." Tom Thumb was thrilled and went to the field, where he sat on top of the water wheel, watching the birds. Whenever a bird tried to approach, he let out a loud cry that scared them away, as if the sound came from a giant guard. Days passed, and Tom Thumb performed his task perfectly. One stormy day, Tom Thumb decided to hide inside the water wheel to protect himself from the wind. But suddenly, a strong gust of wind blew him away, and he soared through the air until he landed far away in a distant forest. Tom Thumb landed on a tall tree branch, not knowing how to return home. In that forest lived an evil giant, said to kidnap anyone who entered his domain. While Tom Thumb was thinking of a way back, he heard heavy footsteps approaching. He looked around and saw the giant standing before him. The giant was enormous, with eyes that glistened with malice. In a booming voice, the giant asked, "What brings you to my forest, little one?" Tom Thumb bravely replied, "I lost my way and don't intend to harm anyone. Please help me return to my village." The giant laughed and said, "Why should I help you? I'll keep you here to serve me." But Tom Thumb didn't give up and started thinking of a plan to escape the giant. He said to the giant, "If you want me to stay and serve you, that's fine. But I'm too small and won't be of much help. However, if you give me large, delicious food, I'll grow stronger and bigger, and I will become your loyal servant." The giant thought about it and decided to give Tom Thumb a chance. He searched for large food for Tom Thumb to eat, but couldn't find anything big enough. In the meantime, Tom Thumb's idea became clearer. He started looking for an opportunity to escape, and when the giant was busy searching for food, Tom Thumb cleverly sneaked next to the giant and climbed up to his ear. He began to softly whisper, "Oh, mighty giant, I see that you are tired. Perhaps you need some rest. Let me give you advice. Take a little nap, and I will stay here until you return." As soon as the giant lay down and fell asleep, Tom Thumb jumped from his ear and ran as fast as he could away from the giant. After a difficult adventure, Tom Thumb finally found his way back home to his family in the village. When he returned, everyone greeted him with great joy. From that day on, everyone learned that a person's value is not determined by their size, but by their courage and intelligence. Tom Thumb lived happily with his family and became a symbol of bravery and wisdom in the village.